Buyer's remorse is a cruel thing, and in this case, I don't have any. What I have here is the 2024 upgrade kit directly from KTM that you can use to turn your 2023 SXF into a 2024. KTM made this essential upgrade simple by not changing their bike from 2023 to 2024, other than this very fancy graphic shroud. Well, that's not entirely true. There's a couple extra clicker settings up here, but if you really care about it, just go ahead and upgrade your suspension. With that, I am pleased to present you with the 2024 KTM SXF. You're probably thinking to yourself, wow, that was really stupid. And you're right. The real reason I did it is because I actually like to preserve my stock graphics and plastics. So when I go to sell the bike, it still looks brand new, at least on the outside. Counterpoint to that, I actually love the look of the 2024 graphics. It's a nice, cool look to it. So that's the real reason why I did it, and also the clicks, but ignore that. On my quest to become a better motocross rider, I got something new, and I've been pretty excited about this since KTM announced it just a couple of months ago. It's a new fender! No, actually. Yes, but connectivity unit kit. What else? Man. Quite a bit of packaging material there. And there's the other one, the GPS. So yes, it is a new fender. Yes, it is for this GPS kit. So our new 2024 KTM is about to be factory editioned. To be honest with you, I've been pretty excited about this, mainly just because I come from a Yamaha, and having that GYTR tuner on it was actually pretty cool. So you can change all of your engine characteristics and all that mapping and timing stuff. And on a KTM, you really only had two options. Them coming out with this kit here is actually pretty cool. So I think it's a good idea, and it's relatively cheap too, given everything you get. I think it's like the cost of a GYTR tuner. Now they don't use those anymore. Obviously they use the mobile app now, but good for you, KTM, good for you. So we're gonna go ahead and put this new fender on, get the connectivity kit installed, and then we're gonna do a little test ride with it. So I've been using Lit Pro actually for like a year with my Garmin watch here. So I'll be really curious to see how it actually compares to it. And we'll get to the track here and we'll run some comparison. I'll track it on my watch and on my bike, and we can all see how bad I am together. First thing you're gonna wanna do is just slide it into the harness there. We're gonna wrap it around the fork. So there you go. Got it properly mounted there. Looks good. And we'll move on to plugging it in. You might have seen it a second ago how bad this wiring was done. So I actually took a couple minutes and reset all the, this one wasn't in, this was all a mess. This one wasn't even in either. So this is actually the one, you can see there's a cap on it that we are going to plug into here. So again, take this opportunity if your dealer or whoever put the bike together to clean up your wiring there. This one won't stay, but we'll wrap a couple zip ties around over here to get it all cleaned up. And then lastly, after you do that, you'll take this plug and just snap it in right there. So that's how you keep all that wiring clean. Go ahead and put on the zip ties now. You can see it's not perfect. The clips just weren't staying in there, and I rerouted them a little bit, but I got one here to hold these cables together, one to tie all this, and then two down here to hold this connector to that one that is secured to this plastic mounting bracket. Also a little pro tip while I'm here, not sure you'll be able to see it, but I always used to drill holes in here so the water didn't sit after a ride or washing it, and it would just fill up with mud and gunk. But you can see on these, maybe KTM actually put little holes all the way back there for that water to drain out of. So good for them, improving on the little stuff. Got the new fender installed. We got all the wiring done. I got this all cleaned up. It looks pretty good now. If you needed a video to see how to put a fender on, dirt bikes probably aren't for you. So figure that one out on your own. The next step before we go ahead and put the number plate back on is we just want to get the GPS plugged in and routed underneath. You can see there's a little spot for the wire right here to run through and plug in right there. And then we'll get it mounted onto the fender. I actually had to take this off because I didn't connect the antenna correctly on it. So you want to disconnect this piece that comes connected to the unit by unclipping it. So you can see right there, that just comes off. And then you're going to want to take your antenna here that sits in this, and then clip it into there, and then remount it up there. So I kind of put those cables on too quickly and didn't realize that you had to disconnect that to plug in the antenna to the connector. There we have it. We got all of our zip ties on now, all the cables routed correctly, the actual connector hooked up appropriately now. So that's good. And then we have our antenna here, which I will need to install after putting the number plate on. The instructions I had actually didn't have anything to do with the antenna, so it didn't tell you to remove that plug right there. And of course, I already had those zip tied together. But anyway, we'll get this thing wrapped up here. Of course, KTM, why couldn't you just use a Phillips head? Why do you have to use a Torx screw for the bottom of the connector? So there we have it. It's all installed. Looks good. Now we'll set up the app and get this thing tested out. I've got the app open now, and we're gonna get this thing connected. So there's my bike. Tap to connect. All right, so start the bike. Been a while. Check it out, we got lights. There we go. Pairing it. Sure. Bike is now paired. Right now I have it connected, and you can see that the power button is now blue. That means that it's ready for operation. If it flashes blue, a recording is downloaded. When it's flashing green, a recording is active. So all you have to do whenever you want to get started, just push that button real quick, and you can see that it's now flashing green. That means it's now tracking my ride. You press it again when you're done, and boom, blue. Back to blue, meaning it's ready to go. And for anyone wondering on where the instructions are to install this, if you actually scroll down here and all the way over to the right, you'll find manuals. You can find it for your bike based off your inputs, or the CUO manual. And this will give you the instructions on how to actually install all this stuff. So scroll down, the first one is in Dutch, and then the second one is in English. So whatever you're looking for, all the languages are built right into it.